Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Gainesville Tuesday meeting here at the Cade Museum. Remember to silence your phones and clean up your plates after you're done. We have a real treat today. There's a young man here who would like to sing us a song. I think his name was Peter. Mr. Pete Enwall, please sing us a song and lead us in the pledge.
Sometimes I go to the rest area home for old people and sing the guitar and play the guitar. And so I went over there the other day and got finished, and there was an old guy in front that was on light. He had an oxygen mask on, one of those things in his nose, his canister. And I said, "Well, I hope you get better." And he looked at me and he said, "I hope you get better too." So we're going to sing "We Are the Boys of Old Florida" because we're going to try to move away from patriotic songs. So you ready? Grab somebody. We are the boys of old Florida, Florida, where the girls are the fairest, the boys are the squarest, in any old state down our way. Hey! We are all strong for old Florida, down where the old Gators play. Go Gators! In all kinds of weather, we'll all stick together. For F-L-O-R-I-D.
We can't both do it. We can't both do the harmony.
Will you join me in pledging allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the... I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sir, thank you. And we've got the soon-to-be retired Ernie Hull here. Again, the only Rotarian who regularly wears epaulets to lead us in our invocation.
That's right. Yeah, soon to be retired. It's coming nice. Got our home already purchased in Deltona, and really excited about what lays in store there for us. I've already been moving stuff in there. Most everything's there already. So, but we still have you still have me for 2 months if you can stand me for 2 months. Yeah. Before I pray, I want to start off with a little story of a love story. On their way to get married, a young Catholic couple is involved in a fatal car accident and sadly died. I will do that. I'm sorry. I forget that some people are as old as I am as well. So I'll start that again. On their way to get married, a young couple was involved in a very fatal accident, wound up dying, and wound up in heaven and found themselves outside the pearly gates where they waited for a little while. While they waited, they pondered, I wonder if we can get married while we're in heaven. Well, St. Peter comes up and they ask St. Peter, before we go in, we want to know, can we get married in heaven? And St. Peter says, well, I don't really know. He said, I'll have to go and find out. So St. Peter goes away, he finds out, or attempts to find out, and they're waiting outside the pearly gates for a month. And then they're waiting 2 months. And finally, while they're waiting, they're thinking, well, I wonder, if we get married, what if it doesn't work out? I wonder if there's divorce in heaven. They wait another month. And they wait another month. Finally, St. Peter comes back and says, yes, I found out that you can get married in heaven. To which the couple said, well, we also have one question. If it doesn't work out, is there a divorce in heaven? And St. Peter took his clipboard and threw it to the ground, all red-faced, and said, it took me all this time to find a priest here in heaven. Now you want me to find a lawyer? I tried. Let's pray. Most gracious and mighty God, we thank you today for your mercies, which are new each and every day. Today we pray for the bifocals of faith so that we can see the concern of the moment right under our noses, but also see further on your purpose in working out your plan in the world that you've made. We pray for the ability to see at close range our part as a group to become solution partners in giving of our time, effort, and money. And we pray also for the ability to see clearly in the distance those who are in partnership with us. May we look with new vision through these bifocals of faith and then act accordingly. We ask for your blessings on this meeting. Bless our speaker and bless our fellowship around the table. Amen.
Thank you, Ernie. And if you are a guest or visiting Rotarian, please stay standing. Maybe Greg Young here can walk the mic around. Greg. All right. Could somebody walk the mic around?
Fellow Rotarians, I have a friend and a neighbor as my guest. His name is Joe Thigpen. He is on your flyer. He is going to be speaking at the Matheson Museum on the Crisis Center come May 27th. I have been assured that he is an elegant speaker, but I do know that he is a very good golfer. He also was born and bred in Alachua. He made his fame and fortune as an executive coach, telling senior vice presidents and presidents of company what they already know. And he returned to Gainesville to play golf. He also was in the United States Army. Both him and I served as an administrative assistants. I was in basic training and he was in the Pentagon. This is my friend Joseph Thigpen. Go to the Matheson Museum to hear him talk. Thank you.
Well, I am very pleased to have Phoebe and Richard Miles. They are the people who started the Cade Museum here, and we owe so much to them that they've let us use it for so many years. Thank you.
All right, we have an announcement from Marion Colburn about the Women Build Habitat. Marion, if you'd come up, please.
I received a note from our very good Rotarian friend Nancy Hart, and she has simply asked me to read a very important announcement concerning Habitat for Humanity. So I'm just going to read Nancy's email to me. Women Rotarians are invited to provide lunch for 20 to 25 women at the Women Build Habitat House on May 9th. We have already found volunteers to make the entree and the green salad. We need volunteers to make fresh fruit salad and a dessert. Brownies or cookies are easiest, so they have a grab and go snack for later in the afternoon as well. The builders provide dishes and drinks. All we need to do is bring the food. We are invited to join them for lunch. This is on May 9th, and Brendan, you were going to put up Nancy's phone number, is that right up there? So I encourage you to give her a call or a text and tell her what you can do to help out with this lunch. Thank you.
Thank you, Marion. Now, everybody. Oh, yes, Tony, did you have an announcement? Come on up, Tony. Come on up, Tony. We let him come up because his name is up there. So
I was watching Dinesh D'Souza on YouTube, and he explained how he came to America. He was born in Bombay and grew up there, and as a teenager, he was sent by Rotary to come to the United States. That's how we have him.
Thanks for sharing, Tony. Now, without further ado, we have our fearless president, John Thomas. John.
Bill, can you hear me? Just want to mic test that. Is that better? Okay, thanks. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Tuesday meeting. It's a pleasure to see everybody. Just a couple of quick announcements. This weekend, there's a district training in Palatka. We also have the district conference coming up on May 15th and 16th. Last Monday night, we had a meeting of the board, and I'm happy to report that we have a healthy club, and we've passed 2 new policies, which I'll be sending out to everybody. One concerning our do-goodery donations, as well as a new payment policy for you to review. Also, we had a couple of Rotarians that represented us at the Girl Scouts luncheon, and we have another luncheon or dinner coming up pretty soon for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which we sponsored, which will be in May. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Dr. Taylor Stokes, who serves as Director and Senior Lecturer at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at the University of Florida, and is also the Director of Beyond the 120 program, which she's going to tell us more about.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be here, and I'm so honored. Do I need to stay?
That's okay. I was going to.
Sorry. I'm used to walking around throughout. Thank you so much. It is such an honor to have been invited to speak to you all about the Beyond 120 program in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and to share some of the amazing things our students are doing in the Gainesville community, in the state of Florida, throughout the United States, as well as abroad. And so I have a presentation and a few slides that I'd like to share with you. But yes, my name is Taylor Stokes, and I have been a resident of Gainesville for about 10 years. I have just a little bit about me, a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old. We have birthdays coming up, and so we love being part of this community. We love being part of Gainesville and really experiencing all of the amazing things that I know so many people in this room have helped establish and contribute to. So thank you as just a resident for that as well. And so for Beyond 120, what we'll go over with today is talking about experiential learning. So the program that I run, Beyond 120, is helping students go beyond their required 120 credit hours for graduation, right? How can we take this excellent academic experience that our students are getting and give them hands-on, real-world experiences so that they can be excellent citizens when they graduate, so that they can contribute to Gainesville, to the state of Florida and beyond, and how can they be exposed to opportunities and jobs that they didn't even know existed, right? Just really help them go beyond what they thought was possible, beyond what they understood of their own skill set, and to be connected to our amazing alumni and community network that we have, so that they can be successful, engaged citizens when they graduate. And we do this through experiential learning. And so the idea of experiential learning is helping, again, get that understanding through undergraduate research, through internships, through study abroad and global engagement, through pre-professional experiences, pre-health and pre-law experiences as well. And here is a trip of our students exploring careers in public service. I'll actually be leading a trip starting May 11th. One of the visits we're going to is the Pentagon, which was mentioned earlier in this meeting, as well as a lot of other government and government-adjacent public sector jobs. But we focus on, again, the breadth and depth, right? There's so many different opportunities that our students are able to engage in and giving them those hands-on experiences. So looking at, again, what is experiential learning? It's really this learning by doing. Again, our students are getting excellent academic knowledge at the University of Florida, but how can we translate that into really tangible outcomes for our students? And so here are just some facts and statistics about current trends. I think we've all been engaged in the conversation about higher education and the value of higher education, right? Especially with artificial intelligence on the rise. How are we really preparing our students for an excellent future when they graduate? And so we see that students who engage in experiential learning, or this hands-on activities, get about $15,000 on average higher salaries when they start. they are more satisfied with their college experience. They're more satisfied with the academics and the feeling of preparedness. Unfortunately, one of the statistics is I'm confident in my ability to repay my student loan. I don't think, not a lot of people are confident in that, unfortunately, but they are more confident, right? They're feeling more prepared, more ready to go out into the world and to make a difference and to be successful in that, right? Those who engage in internships or, again, these hands-on experiences have a better understanding of what it takes, right? Are more prepared, have more professional development. And that is really the focus of the gap that we're trying to fill, so that students can articulate the value of their degree, but also have that real world, tangible space to share that. So I talked a little bit about what is Beyond 120. Again, this is with the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And so we are the largest college at the University of Florida. We have 13,000 students just in our college, and it is the humanities, the social sciences, and the natural sciences. So we have everything from English and philosophy and religion to physics and chemistry and biology and everything in between, right? And so we have a really strong academic curriculum to where students are understanding how to be adaptable, understanding how to think critically, right? Understanding the human aspect of a problem as well as the technical aspect of a problem, and be able to have that humanistic understanding, work well in teams together. And we want them to practice this, right? They can be adaptable and great critical thinkers, and they learn how to learn. And that's what we need today. We need students who learn how to learn, that they can be in any environment and be able to solve problems that don't even exist right now, right? We are in such a fast-paced world of work that we need to prepare our students to be on the cutting edge of that, so that they can come into a brand new environment, have a job in the future that doesn't even exist today, and be able to be successful and a change maker in that space. And so that really is our goal at Beyond 120. And so I'm going to go through some of the, these are ambitious goals, right, that we have for our students, that every class student, and that's, again, the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, every class student will acquire career and self-development skills that propel them towards a career and life aligned with their values. Just a little bit about me. This is really important to me and my values, right? It is, yes, I want our students to have really successful careers where they can provide for their families and be able to be a change maker in their space. But I also want them to be personally fulfilled, right? I want it to align with their values. I want them to know themselves and how to really make sure that they're contributing in a way that's important to them. And so we do this through a variety of ways. We have one-on-one consultations with our students, right? We have a variety of different coursework and curriculum that supports professional development for our students. And that's one way that I was connected through you, through Eric, right? He is a adjunct lecturer with us in our Industry Insights course. And so this is a course that pairs our faculty members with professionals in their field, right? So this is a law-oriented course, really giving students deep insight into what it means to be a lawyer, right? What are the practical components of that? We have entrepreneurship-based Industry Insights courses. We had marketing-based courses where you are working with a professional in the field or being taught by a professional in the field, as well as having that academic curriculum to go alongside it. We have a strategic self-marketing, intro to research in liberal arts and sciences. And so a lot of the core of what we're doing is being able to go alongside, again, their academic curriculum to have great professional development in that space as well. Excursions, and so we go all across in Gainesville and the state of Florida, as well as internationally, on different experiences and excursions to help, again, just share out what is possible. We have gone to Orlando to focus on humanities and museums and art spaces. We have gone to Tampa to focus on sustainability practices, environmental areas, right? We have focused on the pre-law space, the pre-health space. And again, in DC, we go to Atlanta for our corporate trip every year over spring break, where we are looking at Fortune 500 companies and knowing that our students belong in those spaces, right? Even if they didn't perceive themselves in a certain area, that they are now learning directly from alumni that may have had a similar major to them or similar experiences. They're being connected to people like you in this room who can mentor them and can shape them and give them advice. And it's so beneficial I genuinely love my job because I get stories all the time of how this has made an impact in students' lives, right? So this is Danny. He took my Art of Adulting course and also went on several of our excursions, one of them to Jacksonville. And so this excursion was especially eye-opening as a liberal arts student because it challenged the idea that only business or STEM majors thrive in corporate spaces. I saw firsthand that liberal arts grads not only belonged in the world, but they bring strengths and value. I can't see exactly the end of that, but changing your perspective, right, on what's possible. Another goal of ours is that we want to provide this to every student at UF, right? And so I want to remove barriers for students to be able to participate in that space. Again, we have internships, professional experiences, global engagement, undergraduate research that we focus on, all shaped through our coursework. We have a team of about 11 people, faculty and staff, that help make this happen. We do offer scholarships, which is a great way that we're able to do that. And so we've really have been fortunate to be able to give away money in this space and really help subsidize that for the students so they can apply based on what experience that they're wanting to get, and then we can help remove barriers for them in that space. And so again, internships, a lot of the internships that our students are applying for, unfortunately, are not paid, and not every space can offer paid internships, so that's a really good way for them to be able to participate and again, remove those barriers. And so this is Bailey. She was a zoology major. She attended our Clearwater Marine Aquarium excursion in in Clearwater. And she now has, through that experience, had a life-changing experience, is now decided that that is what she wants to do moving forward for her career, and is applying to jobs both at Clearwater Marine Aquarium and beyond. And in that space, she was one of our recipients for a scholarship, and she was able to just really understand the ins and outs. She was up at 5 a.m. rescuing sea turtles on the beach every day, and just hearing her talk about that is always really refreshing too. Another goal of ours, right, is that we will be able to have mutually beneficial partnerships with industry and with our alumni and community partners. And so this is always on the search of finding, how can our students be a support and a pipeline to different areas, both in Florida and throughout the United States. And how can that be a really big benefit to that industry and company as well? We found great partnerships with a lot of different spaces, one being Gas South in Atlanta. We have formed a really great partnership with them where they have agreed to host University of Florida interns there. They have a headquarters in Atlanta. They also have a subspace here in Gainesville. And so it's really accessible for our students to either go to the Atlanta office or potentially come to the Gainesville office and be able to have a really good mutually beneficial relationship there as well. I just got off a meeting this morning with our research lecturer who just got back from South Carolina. We have a research group with Michelin where they did a year of research with Michelin tires and on polymer sciences. They presented to the execs at Michelin and just got back on Saturday from that presentation. And I heard there was a room of 30 people from leadership at Michelin and our 5 students presenting their research. So it's very intimidating, right? They got grilled, got some really hard questions, but they did so well and were prepared for that. And now they understand some pipeline and industry pipelines to Michelin of how they can get more engaged in that space as well. So again, sustaining key partnerships. We're always building our industry partnerships and our alumni partnerships. I think, oh, there he goes, a picture of Michelin Science Scholars. It's just such a transformative space for our students to hear directly from alumni, right? We are working actually with OCAMIC right now for our students to do research interviews with past faculty who are currently living at OCAMIC so that we can learn, right? That our students can learn in a multi-generational way about career paths, and everyone's story is always so different. I think that's one thing that we continually talk to students about is how career path is not linear, right? I think if you think of your own life, you didn't end up exactly where you thought you were going to when you were 18 years old, right? I certainly am not in a space that I thought I was going to be when I was 18, and that's something we can all relate to, but our students don't necessarily know that, right? And so to be able to share that out with them is important. And again, this is that alumni engagement, mentorship, excursions, all part of ways that we continue to engage and provide that experiential learning for our students. I really want to build capacity for this throughout the entire college and use this as a model, even at a university-wide level. And so being able to figure out how can we have this integrated into every space. Again, we're a large department or a large college where we have over 30 different departments and units and programs and centers within the liberal arts and sciences. And so what I decided to do was to be able to build capacity for everyone and help all the different units by providing little micro grants to different departments, right? We had the ability to do that. So I wanted to, again, remove those barriers and let the departments share what is meaningful for the students in that separate space, right? Again, you know, the students in religion and the experiences they need that make sense for their academics might be different than physics, right? Yeah, they're different areas. And so I wanted them to be able to dream and think what is important. So we were able to build capacity for increasing experiences by really letting the departments lead some of that conversation as well. And then looking ahead, I'm really excited to share that we are opening a new space here. And I mean, I am waiting for that certificate of occupancy. I think we have some doors that are coming in that we need to get finalized. But we will have a brand new space that will have a classroom. It will have a conference room. Offices for everyone, which feels like a novel idea sometimes, but we will have individual offices for everybody. And most importantly, and student engagement space, right? That our students can connect, engage, have those career talks with alumni, connect, network. And it is my goal that every student will graduate with a tangible connection to someone outside of the University of Florida that's in a career field that they're aligned with, right? And this really should be a hub for that space for them. We have some different requirements that are always in conversation at the university level that we're looking to see how can we really elevate that for the college as well. Right, we've had continued growth, so 8,000 students engaged since 2018. We are expanding in our internship opportunities and pre-law opportunities for our students, really expanding in that space, as well as entrepreneurship are some of the areas that we are diving into more fully that we haven't before. Our international engagement continues to increase. I mean, as much as we can offer, students are interested in learning and exploring abroad. And I am really interested in hearing from you, right? So after this talk, I'll hang around for a little bit, and if there's any connections or ideas or spaces that you want to get involved with, please feel free to let me know. But I am so happy to share about what's going on at the University of Florida and in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. I think it is the way of the future, right? We want to be able to prepare our students for these opportunities, and I'm happy to take any questions that you may have.
Dr. Stokes, you hear a lot about AI replacing people in the future, different jobs and stuff like that. Yeah. How do your students feel about AI in the workplace going forward? Do you get kind of a sense for that?
Yeah, I think being at the University of Florida, we are in such a great position to where we're already ahead of the curve, right? Some of these universities, I'm reading articles in the Chronicle of Higher Education where they're like, oh, we need to have some sort of coursework that focuses on this. Thankfully, we already have a full certificate, right? We already have faculty who are hired for AI purposes and to be able to teach in that space. And so our students are know that the opportunities are there, but again, we're in it, right? We're in it right now. We're learning that how to upload your resume or write your resume so that it can pass the first AI screens are important. The Career Connection Center offers Quincia, which is a platform that you can upload it in, and it kind of pre-checks from an AI perspective for you, right, for some of those resumes. I think that that's one of the parts that I really find valuable of the liberal arts and sciences, and I guess a personal belief that I have, not as a AI expert necessarily, but that humanistic part of it, right? The connection, the human connection, the face-to-face talking, the ability to have that professional competence, I don't think is going to go away, in my personal belief, right? And I think that we know that people are getting jobs because they are connected to another human. And a lot of times, statistically, that is how students are getting employed, is through networks and connections that they have. And so I believe that that is going to continue to be a focus. And how do we partner both the humanistic spaces and that problem solving with the technical skills? We can't get away from the technical skills. I want our students to learn and take the AI certificates and to learn the areas that they need to know and how that contributes to their chosen field. But then how do we also partner that with the human skills that are essential?
Thank you for your talk. So exciting. And obviously you're in the right place. This is like your mission in life. Two quick questions. First of all, beyond 120, is 120 the number of hours you have to have for a 4-year degree? Okay.
Yes.
My real question is, what's your academic background? What prepared you to lead this wonderful initiative?
And this is what I say at the beginning of all of my courses. I give a little bio about myself, which I could have done here too, but it is, there's a theory called the chaos career theory, and to where it is, right? Who can relate? The chaos career theory. And that comes from weather, right? And so it was started in a weather theory where you can predict 24 hours, 12 hours pretty well. You can predict 24 hours pretty well. 48 hours, we're starting to get less reliable. 1 week, we know in Florida during hurricane season, that cone could shift anywhere we go, right? And so it becomes less and less reliable the farther out you go. And so that's the same idea about career, right? I can predict what classes I'm going to take next semester. I know that I'm going to graduate. I might have an idea of what I'm going to do after graduation, but I can't really say with certainty much farther beyond that. And I experienced that in my own life, right? And so when I look back, it's amazing how I didn't know that I would be here, but so many of my experiences led me to be prepared for this moment. And so my background, my undergrad was at the University of Central Florida in sports and fitness. I was a rower, a D1 rower, captain of my team, a lightweight. I'm not quite as tall as you should be for that. And I loved sports and being active, and that was really important to me. And so then in that space, I really learned from my academic advisor for athletics. And I learned what he did as we had to prepare what classes we were going to take. And I had that really good one-on-one connection with my academic advisor. And I remember asking him, like, what is your job, right? What do you do to provide me all this support as an athlete? How does that work? What is this whole system here that's designed to support me as an athlete? I went and got my master's at UCF still in higher education. And in that space, I wanted to just learn more about student development, right? How can I make my experience in college last longer, right? What does it look like to work with college students? And then at that time, I was working at Rollins College in housing and residence life, and I wrote a career mission statement, and I wrote, whatever it is that I do in the future, I want to be in a space where I am providing transformative experiences for youth and young adults. I didn't know what that looked like, and I didn't know how that would come to fruition, but I knew if I was doing that, I was going to be fulfilled professionally, right? From there, I got married. I went to, I'm getting my timelines correct, I went to Kenya, to where I worked in a youth empowerment program and did a lot of community engagement, community service work. From there, came back to Florida, worked in higher ed, and then my husband got into a master's degree in England. So then we packed up and I moved to England, to where I worked at a university there in student development in a chemistry program, working in career development for those interested in the space industry, because Leicester, England is the big time space industry in the UK. And so I did career development, industry partnerships in that space when I was in England, came back to the United States. We did a national search, and then both of us found jobs at the University of Florida, right? We're in Florida, where we were born and raised. At that space, I was in the Brown Center for Leadership and Service at the University of Florida, working on leadership development, again, community engagement as well. Got my PhD in leadership, to where in that space was asked to apply for my current role, which again had leadership development, community engagement, career services, global engagement, internships, undergraduate research, and being able to take all of that into what I'm doing now. It's really interesting, retrospectively, how all the different spaces prepared me for this role.
We have wonderful. We have a question from Zoom. Also, yes. Jenny wants to know or state and then ask a question. Funding is always rough. How are you navigating those waters when it's never certain that your funding is going to be around? Are those trips self-funded by students?
What a great question. Those trips are not self-funded by students, and we work really hard to make sure that we remove barriers so that students can engage and have access to engaging. That is a deep value of ours. We are funded through state for our salaries of the program, but all of the programmatic funding is through our foundation, and donations. So a lot of our alumni, we are not an endowed program, and so that is year to year at this point. I know they're going to work on that in the future. But funding is always a question, right? And so it's interesting that that question was asked because from a student perspective, we have just some of the funding, some of the donors' funding has shifted, and so we're looking at our excursion budget for next year of what that'll look like, right? How much can we afford to continue to do? Students often get themselves to the location, but then once they're there, we have a full experience for them. And so like for the DC trip, we ask that they get themselves to DC, and then their room and lodging is covered until they leave. And then a couple incidentals and meals that they cover on their own. So again, making sure that it is affordable for the students and that we remove those barriers. Of course, if funding shifts, then we may really more deeply explore what it looks like for them to pay for themselves. So that's the excursion. Some of the other things we do, right, those staffing and faculty lines are the most important, but then again, the programming is fully donor supported at this time.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Fall out this time, so there's that. Dr. Stokes, thanks you very much for speaking with us, and as a token of our appreciation, we're going to be making a donation in your name to the Rotary Foundation. Well, thank you guys for being here today. Just a couple of quick closing remarks. Next week's speaker is Alachua County Manager Michelle Lieberman, so please bring a guest. That'll be a fantastic talk as well. The reading safari winner today is number 675743. 675743. Any winners? And stand up and say it with me, the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And we are adjourned.